Outstanding.
Hello again and welcome to another video. It's a boy eldohradoproductions. In this video, I am going to show you how I mix my vocals on this particular track. But before we get started, please do like and subscribe, hit that bell notification button so you can get notified as soon as I upload any video. Now, first and foremost, I have tracked this song at my home. I did not track the song in a particular, well professional grade studio. However, after I tracked the song, when I went to edit the song, I ran it through Linded Audio 1176 and printed the vocals with the auto tune. So this vocals that you are seeing here, it is a printed vocal through auto tune and also 1176. The first thing that I did was to EQ out some of the mid frequencies that was a little bit harsh for me, and I have also EQ'd out some of the lows. I did not use any filtering on it as yet. So a little bit of EQ filter with a little bit of dynamic processing for the vocal thus far. And this is how it sounds. Let me bypass all these other plugins. Let me make this one inactive. Bypass that and bypass this also. I am going to mute the rhythm. You may hear it leaking from another channel. So I'm just going to play it regardless. And this is what it sounds like. You have somewhere set. Let me mute this channel. You have somewhere sell out, you see. Negative energy, them a congi. Want all what them never give. The 9-ball roller, no messy, you see. Fret not thyself, showers of blessings. Father. So for me, it was a little bit too bright. So this is what I did to kind of reduce the mid-range. There are better ways to do it. Or there are other methods to do it, but this is what I did on this particular song. Moving on, I routed it to an auxiliary track in which I used the waves RVOX to bring it the compression section to about minus 3.5, and this helps to pull the sound a little bit more forward in the mix, like in front of all the sounds that is going on. However, what the 1176 does when I run it through it, it gives it a little bit more body. I did get a little bit more compression on the peaks and the lower section of the vocals. It brought it up a little bit more and giving it a little bit more body, as I stated before. Beyond that, I use the de-esser because the microphone that I was using to record this song, it was a little bit bright. So I use a de-esser, but before I play it with the de-esser, this is what it sounds like with the waves RVOX on it. You have somewhere sell out, you see. Negative energy, them a congi. Want all what them never give. The 9-ball roller, no messy, you see. So as you can hear a little bit increase in volume because I record it a little bit low. Reason being, the noise floor on that particular preamp that I was using to track the song, I did not want it in it, so I record it a little bit low. However, when recording it, it was fair loud enough in my headphone, so it was recorded a little bit low. So beyond this, let me play it with the de-esser, and this is what it sounds like with it on it. You have somewhere sell out, you see. Negative energy, them a congi. So it is getting a lot of de-essing between the frequency range of 7K to 14K, and the reason why I chose that frequency first is, without using any more EQ to control that section within reducing the higher frequencies, I use this particular one to kind of massage the the S's that are jumping out in the mixes and not making the mixes sound a little bit brittle. Moving on from that, I have also used this compressor to compress the vocals to add a little bit of creamy sound and all right. So let me explain it a little bit better. The reason being I use this particular plugin at this section is for the release time. However, with this slow release, somewhat of a slow release time, it helps to smooth out the transient a little bit more and give it a little bit more, massage it a little bit more. So this is one of the reasons why I use this particular compressor at this section. So this is what it sounds like with it on it.
You have someone sell out, you see. Negative energy, them a come give. Want all what them never give. The 9 ball a roll and no messy, you see. Fret not thyself, showers of blessings. Father God a guide me. Things could be worse, you see, pre. I hold out the pressure like a regime. Look how hard we a work for the paper.
So as you can hear, it catches those peaks and slightly roll it off while it is releasing. So that is what I did for this particular song. Moving on, I use another EQ because there was some low frequency building up. So I ducked out a little bit using a broad stroke to duck out some of those low mids instead of using a narrow and more precise. I just use it on a broader scale so it sounds a little more natural, should I say. Yeah, so it doesn't sound like I am removing a lot, but I did it in small increments. So this is what it sounds like with it on it.
You have someone sell out, you see. Negative energy, them a come give. Want all what them never give. The 9 ball a roll and no messy, you see. Fret not thyself, showers of blessings. Father God a guide me.
So you can hear that low end build up in the song. So that is why I use the EQ to remove that low end build up. After that, I use this compressor to compress the frequency a little bit more independent instead of having one compressor compressing a whole bunch of frequencies at the same reduction rate. So I use a multiband compressor to compress different sections of the song that has probably more energy or a little bit brittle or sizzling in the top end. So I use this multiband compressor to compress those frequency independent. And this particular compressor, it has a particular sound to it that I really like. So I use this compressor sparingly on different type of mixes. It's just mix dependent. It's not on the mixes that I do. I use this, but as I stated at the beginning of this video, for this particular song, I went for this particular multiband compressor. There's another compressor that I normally use in the song, but in other songs, but in this song it did not work. So I opt for this plugin and it seems to do the job as well as I need it to be. So let me play it with it on it.
You have someone sell out, you see. Negative energy, them a come give. Want all what them never give. The 9 ball a roll and no messy, you see. Fret not thyself, showers of blessings.
So as you can hear, there's some of the body of the song is more controlled. Instead of using EQ to take out that boom sound or all of the boxy tone or the low end sound, you can use a multiband compressor to control those frequencies, because removing a lot of the low end in any vocals, it makes it really, really thin. So you have to, be mindful of the amount of low end that you remove over time. And some of these plugins with harmonic saturation and all of those stuff, it adds body to the song and you're going to think that it's not supposed to be there, etc. and you keep on thinning out the song more and more over time. So you have to be careful of the type of plugin. You have to know the plugin. You have to know if this is adding any form of saturation or harmonic content to the vocals or any other material that you're mixing, so you know how to adjust it after. So moving on from this particular plugin, I added a Pultec-style EQ to the vocal, and what I particular use this for is adding body and also smoothing off the high end a little bit more. So as you can see, the attenuation selection here, I put it at 5K and I use the attenuation knob, and I shaved off some of the top by 2 dB, and at 3K I also boost it with a wide bandwidth, and at 100 I also boost it almost 2 decibels, and this is what it sounds without it.
With paper chaser, you have somewhere sell out, you see, negative energy.
And this is what it sounds like with it.
With paper chaser, you have somewhere sell out, you see, negative energy, them a congi. Want all what them never give, the 9-ball a roll and no messy, you see. Fret not thyself, showers of blessings, Father God a guide me. Things could be worse, you see, pre. I hold out the pressure like a regime. Look how hard we are work for the paper.
So as you can hear, I made a decision in which using this plugin. So after I reached this section in the song, I've just decided that I didn't want it super bright or super airy, so I removed some of the top end and add presence in the song also, and added a little bit of lows, in which I controlled the lows from the C6, but I added some more of those controlled lows with this plugin. After I did that, I used Sooth 2 to also do some more de-essing, also use it in the low end to kind of keep those frequency that I particularly don't need, you know, building up too much, to kind of push it down and leave those frequency in this particular frequency range that I really need. So it's like a give and take for the vocal to have that balance that you're looking for when using plugins like these. So this is what it sounds like with it on it.
With paper chaser, you have somewhere sell out, you see, negative energy, them a congi. Want all what them never give, the 9-ball a roll and no messy, you see. Fret not thyself, showers of blessings, Father God a guide me.
So this particular plugin also helps clean up the vocals a little bit more, let it sound smoother, if that's the correct word that I'm looking for. So the low end, as I was talking about before, I did not want to use another EQ right there, just adding too much phasing to the vocal. So there are other methods to remove certain frequency other than using EQs, and this is one of them. So moving on from that, I added a two-way compressor to, you know, have more control over the overall frequency of the adjustment that I made with the plugins that was added before, and this is what it sounds like with it on it.
With paper chaser, you have somewhere sell out, you see, negative energy, them a congi. Want all what them never give, the 9-ball a roll and no messy, you see. Fret not thyself, showers of blessings, Father God a guide me. Things could.
It add a little bit of oomph to it. It is not particularly noticeable, but it is there, and it is, you know, adding a little bit of the final product that I really need. Moving on from that, I use another EQ to tuck out some frequency that I think that was really bothersome at the end. At 7K, there was a nasal frequency coming up in my vocal, so I have tucked out a little bit of that. And at 200, I did not want to use a super narrow Q, but I have tucked out a little bit more of those frequency to get a little bit more clarity in my vocals. So this is what it sounds like with it on it. Of car with paper chaser. You have somewhere sell out, you see. Negative energy, them a come give. Want all what them never give.
So you can hear that boom in my vocal. And as you can see, while it is playing down here, there's a lot of low end frequency there also.
Of car with paper chaser. You have somewhere sell out, you see.
And I know that some of this frequency down here is caused from the 1176, so I did not want to really add an EQ there to add some more phasing to it. And as you can see from the first EQ that I applied on it, I did not use any filtering, in which you can, but if it's not really affecting the song whatsoever, you can also leave it as a way to enhance the body of your song. Instead of making it thin and super clean, it can be thin and smooth. So you have to be really mindful of the low mids of the song, because that is where the body of the song, and sometimes you're mixing or sometimes you're listening to other people's music and wondering why it is so thick, and that is the trick. The body of the song is in the low mids, so you have to be mindful of how you give and take at that section of the song. So I am going to unmute the rhythm and let you hear what it sounds like in all. I'm going to bypass this section and pass it so you hear what it sounds like.
With paper chaser. You have somewhere sell out, you see. Negative energy, them a come give. Want all what them never give. The 9-ball a roll and no messy, you see. Fret not thyself, showers of blessings. Father gotta guide me. Things could be worse, you see, pre. I hold out the pressure like a regime. Look how hard we a work for the paper. Want it, car with paper chaser. You have somewhere sell out, you see. Negative energy, them a come give. Want all what them never give. The 9-ball a roll and no messy, you see.
So that is a song that I record and produce and build a beat named Paper Chaser. You can check it out on Audio Mac. I haven't uploaded it as yet on YouTube, but it is out there, so you can listen to the final and master version. I'll be sure to leave a link in the description so you can listen to it on my Audio Mac or on Spotify. So if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, you know what to do. It's your boy Eldorado. Until next time I catch you in another video. Peace out.